When it comes to building a long-term successful business, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of risks, and it takes usually a lot of costs, and it also requires a lot of work. And in this video today, that's what I want to take you through. Hi, my name's Chris. How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Or if you're new here, appreciate you being here. And I'm building a business that suits my lifestyle. Now, today I want to take you through basically the month that has just ticked over. October 2023 has now finished, done and dusted. And in this video, really, I'm just talking about what I've been focusing on for this week, but also what I focused on in the month of October and how the results have turned out. How are the numbers actually looking after doing another month, and what my reselling business is looking like as I continue to try new things to grow the business, but also to make the business so it's not just all about me. So there'll be a couple of things that I'll be going through. Obviously, the month end results. How did we go for October? So I'll be taking through how did I go? What were the lessons and some of the things that I can call out, and how does this impact or how does this compare to the previous couple of months since the start of FY24? Of course, if you do stick around, I've got my progress report for this week alone, how I've been progressing, what I've been doing in the business, and also a little bit of show and tell. So let's dive in. So my goals for this journey has always and will continue to only be building a business that suits my lifestyle. Now, what's that actually mean? Well, as I get very, very close to going away to the Philippines for 6 weeks, this is going to be the ultimate test. It's going to basically to see that I can step away from the business, remove myself from the queen bee, I guess, in this sense, and actually enable it to continue to keep running. Now, I've been training someone over the last it's been a while now to ensure that they're able to be on top of all the picking, packing, and posting, and to continue to do photos. The only thing they haven't covered will be basically doing the listings, which I'm still able to do while I'm away. So it's still not perfect, but we're making progress and we're making steps to make this happen. So for the last 3 months, what I've actually been doing is spending and investing more money in upskilling my staff member, and also renting out another storage unit, which I did that basically at the start of July, and basically getting that all set up and all sorted and getting processes in flow for that. But also I've changed a lot of processes over the last couple of months as well, which has enabled a better throughput, but it enabled scalability, so I'm not the one necessarily doing it. This has included outsourcing my preparation and clothing washing, but also how I'm doing the posting, how I'm doing the picking, and just some of the processes with the photo arrangements as well. Now, this naturally means that there's going to be more costs and more risks as I continue to change things, learn things, and do things in different ways. But it builds a little bit more confidence, but it also gives me the chance to grow this business and scale this business in the long term. Now, what does this all have to do with the results of October? And what does this all mean on the impact of the results? Well, basically, this is how the month has gone. And now these numbers might slightly change a little bit as I finalize a couple of details, but this is essentially the bulk of it. Now, as you can see here, total revenue being $15,147, cost of goods sold was around $3,354, and a gross profit of $11,793. Now, I actually missed out on having my highest revenue month by about $5, so I'm very frustrated, but it is what it is. Operating expenses, as you can see here, still the usual stuff. Laundry, there's no cost because they moved into cost of good. I've just kept it there I just haven't updated the report, to be honest. Actual post costs still being quite expensive. And then my other biggest expenditure has been employee and consignments. Now, I have been paying my worker a lot more because they've been working a lot more, because I've been training them a lot more. So this is basically an investment cost. I believe that obviously for the next couple of months, this will continue to roll out because I'm going to be away, so they're going to be doing even more. But if I can continue to take some dollary dues into my own pocket and the business continues to thrive without me, that is a win-win. That is a win-win. So total expenses being $9,878, not where I want it to be, but hey, that's how it is. So operating profit coming in $1,915 with a margin of 12.64%. So I would like that to be actually 30%. So we still have a long way to go. But on paper, look, this isn't bad. Like, it's not the end of the world. I guess from one big concern is obviously the profits aren't necessarily huge, and I'll take you through how this is comparing for the entire quarter in the last couple of months. But I'm still able to pay myself basically $4,000 basically through cash flow and using the profit first system. Now, that comes from a couple of things that I'm leveraging. I do leverage a business credit card, so it means I've got up to 30-day to sometimes 80-day payment terms, depending if I'm combining that with my credit card payments and also my 30-day supplier payment periods, which is really, really good. And I don't necessarily recommend that you should go do this, but this is just working for me at this point in time. And if you still don't understand how I managed to actually pay myself $4,000 every month, well, there's 3 ways I'm doing this. it's cash flow versus profit. There's an owner's draw or salary kind of thing. So it's money that I've had there prior to actually these profits coming through. So the results of last year's money building up, but also following the profit first system, it enables me to tap into that cash flow perspective. However, the concern here is, how long can I do this? And that's something I have to continue to monitor. And obviously, while I'm away, I'm going to be probably paying myself less because I'm going to be doing less work. So hopefully we'll be able to top those funds up a little bit more. I'm not going to go into detail of this, but if you have any questions or comments about this, more than happy to have a conversation about it. But that's just the high level detail of it. But Profit First still works really, really well. I'll flash up on screen how much has come in via the Profit First system this month, meaning October, and you can have a look how I split that out. In terms of the how I'm actually tracking over the last couple of months. So the P&L statement here, I'm just going to make this bigger for myself. You can see July, August, September, and October. So total revenue, we're still averaging around $14,419 across the 4 months. Total expenses, way too high. We're sitting at about $11,000. That includes both cost of good expenses, and also it includes expenses of just, fixed costs and variable costs. And then we have the operating profit. So we're still averaging around $2,975, but we're at about a 21% profit margin, which is not bad. And that's obviously helps because the first month of this financial year was really, really high. And then we've obviously had some ups and downs over the last couple of months. But I'm pretty happy with this because the ASP is trending upwards somewhat. Profit per item is all over the place, about $7.52. And this is actually coming off net profit, not gross profit. So it's still quite rewarding to see that at this point, because if I can continue to grow from here, it's a good thing. If I'm going to continue to have lower months like this, I'm going to have to change some things. But I also do understand that the next November, December is going to be a little diluted because I'm not going to be here. So it is going to dilute how I run and manage this business in terms of financially and the results that it brings. Sales, they haven't necessarily jumped up. And this really comes down to my call-outs. One, I haven't seen a big jump in sales, so I'm trying to increase sell-through rate. Secondly, ASP is starting to be consistent, which is great. The heavy spending on employee, which is expected to cover, while I'm away. This is an investment. That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as spending now, and it's going to help me with dividends in the second half of the financial year, but also, in the months and months after that as well. Expenses are still not under control, and my biggest one's obviously being actual post and paying my employee. But the other thing is there's sometimes a few little extras that I've had to spend with post supplies and storage. And that's because I've been buying things in bulk to ensure that I don't have to do anything while I'm away. So I've been purchasing additional boxes or satchels and padded mailers and things, making sure that there is enough there of supply. So hopefully in November and December there'll be a lower storage cost in terms of, a lower post supplies cost. And then from a storage perspective, that should come down to and just be purely for the storage unit and no additional shelvings and things like that. So it's been a very, very interesting roll of events over the last couple of months. As you can see here, where I compare from my entire journey, this is a nice little screenshot, and I think it really does actually help give me some really good perspective. Of course, this is not, this is gross profit. Now, as I said, I do see that the current process that I'm taking in terms of investing the dollars or, going a bit heavy, I'm not too concerned by it, because having someone run and operate my business while I'm away, and if I only have to do 20% of the work, but I still get 20% of the profits, or I'm still making 20% profit, I think that's worth it, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to remove myself so I don't have to be the one doing everything. I want to be working on the business, not in the business. And I'm taking the steps to make that happen as early as possible. So that is the month of October. If you've got any questions about this, more than happy to answer any questions. Chuck them down below. I haven't covered tax, GST, anything like that, because I'll do that when when it makes sense to focus on it at the end of the year, when we actually have numbers to talk about and how that actually impacts the total variables. So if you've got questions about that too, I can answer if needed. So what's been actually happening this week? Well, this week, really the focus has just been about continuing to get my worker comfortable. They've been in the shop a couple of times this week, and they've been doing everything themselves, so like picking, packing, and posting. And the other thing that I did was I did a huge 3-year clean out. So I've been storing, hoarding, gathering 3 years worth of stuff that just isn't worth it, dead stock, and also bad buys. So I did a big clean out. That's all been sitting at home. That's where I leave all that kind of stuff. Did a big clean out. Here's a screenshot of the of the trailer full, and it's not even, that isn't the final result, but that took a little bit on Saturday. Got that out of the way just to clean things up a bit as I make more room to do the next part of the business. But really, the week's been pretty quiet. It's been pretty slow. I've had more sales in the last 24 hours than I have in the last probably 72 hours, which is a bit scary, but we've only done 64 sales this week. Of course, clothing being the big part of it, as you can see up on screen. Electronics coming in, and majority of the electronics is consignment stuff, but some of it has been from purchases as well. Books, Lego media also coming in there, and there are a few little freebie items there in the Lego would have been able to sell to make a little bit extra cash. In terms of the breakdown of some of this finer categories, you can see here on screen as well, everything from button shirts down to phones, to laptops, to jumpers, to hi-fi, to media players. There's a whole range of different things here. Usually if you see a $0 cost, that's because it's consignment, and I pay them retrospectively. So I'll pay them in a month's time for the stuff that's occurred in this month. That's how it works. So it's been really interesting to see how this week has taken a bit of a nosedive compared to the last couple of weeks. Hey, but we still had some pretty good wins. Now, in terms of some of the cool top items that have been selling this week, there's been some pretty cool top items. We're going to take you through those now. So number one was this vintage 90s Wu-Tang Clan jacket. Now this one I picked up from Savers just a couple, actually I think it was last week. You haven't seen this video yet, it will come out in a couple of weeks. I paid $7.52 for this. It's gone for $119.75. I've profited $82.69. Now I probably could have got a little bit more for this, but this sold within, I think it was 10 hours, 12 hours, so I was happy to take it for the price that I paid. Number two was this Milwaukee heated gear soft shell jacket only. This one I also got from Savers. It comes out in a video shortly. $10.06 was the cost of this one. I got it from Savers. I've sold it for $138.17 with $66 profit after fees and postage. The next one was another jacket, dry as a bone, men's extra large 7 customs jacket. This one's sat around for a long time. It cost me $5.42, sold it for $65 and walked away with $39.29. Now, the outlier for this week is actually a book. I've had this book for a long time. I tried selling this book during my clearance of books of 35 to 40% off. Never sold. I've now relisted it, changed some of the keywords. It's been sitting there probably for about another 14 days. The Black Jewels Trilogy by Anne Bishop. This one is actually signed. I purchased this one originally for $9.54. Sold it for $54.60 and walked away with $27.59. So really rewarding to see that happen. And look, I'm still doing books. I'm still doing media. I'm still doing other things other than clothing, but I'm just doing it with a set of rules. And this was worth it. All right, in terms of how the week has actually gone in entirety, let me bring that up for you now. So we've done a total of 64 sales. Margin was around 44.78%. Cost of goods only $530. Sold $2,769 worth, just under my target of $3,077. So a bit frustrated by that. Profit being $1,240. ASP was a higher one, so $43.27 with an average cycle time of 53 days, which is great. Still bringing that down. So it's been actually a pretty good week, all things considered. Just didn't really have the sales volume. If I could have had the sales volume, I could have had a lot more money. So that's still a bit of the challenge. So look, this has been the week. I'm going to take you through a little bit of show and tell now, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, team, welcome to Monday. It's another week. Weekend has been pretty good. Can't complain. I mean, always more is better, but hey, I'll take it. We've got 23 going out. There's quite a few bundles in here. We're at 42,839. So we've got lots of, well, obviously lots of clothing. We've got jeans, shirts, jackets, shirts. There's a few bundles over here. Pretty much the same stuff. Carla's already started on the consolidation. We've actually already cleared out quite a lot. So we just put all the stock out first, and then obviously now it makes sense to do the consolidation, so hopefully save some space there. I'll give you guys a quick little update of what's happening in here. So we've progressed onwards to some more shorts. As you can see here, we've got these ones happening now next, and still lots of stock, which is so good. All right, I'm gonna get packing, and well, actually just get packing, and then we can get posting. Be a quick one today, I think, guys. I've already done my listings too. Woohoo! Alright, team, we are all done. Big Santa sack right here, and all of this has now been done thanks to Carla. So we've managed to save an entire shelf plus one.
which is really, really good. So ended up doing, must be about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, must be about 20 boxes. Yeah, 20 boxes, which is insane. So pretty good for that rotation. Lowest number is still, Lewis, we've still got number 1. I haven't sold that yet. But then we go from 1 here, and then we're getting over to 600 here. Then we get to 1200 here. Then we get to like 1700 here. Sorry, I realize you can't really see what I'm showing. 1700 here, then we get to 2100 here, then we get to 2500 here, then 2800 here, and then over here is the 3000s. 3100 actually, so it's moving pretty quick, cleaning out all the old stock slowly but surely. We're done. That's it, babe. New records. Alright, team, ciao. Howdy, team, welcome to Thursday. Just in here doing a bit of a shuffle, bit of a cleanup, just getting things, you know, better processes and stuff from my work, taking on feedback and things like that. Today's Thursday. Yesterday they were here all by themselves. They did all the picking, packing and photos. I'm just doing a bit of admin stuff here today, just skewing a few things, just getting a few things fixed up, going through some old stock and things like that. So I've only got a couple of items to actually send out today, which is it's been very dead. It's really weird. It's like someone's just turned off the store. That's what it feels like. But you know, we charge on. We've only got 3 sales. We're dropped down $600. We got to 43,000 last night, but I didn't hit my target yesterday, so we've dropped down a fair bit. And just got a couple of items going out. Just nice little shirt, some Sony tapes, and a pair of new jeans. I'll show you them a bit later if I remember. Otherwise, I'm just doing a bit of shuffling, getting out all this cardboard and things like that. So, yeah, really just doing a bit of room for improvement. All right, let's do it. All right, so I've done a whole bunch of updating of skewing, which is all done in here. I could do some fixes in here just due to a mistake, but that's okay, it's all good. We've just sold this as well. This is going for 120 to the US. And the other things that are going out today is we've got some Pokemon cards for all the winners yesterday. Also, Blake won this. This is compliments of Ethan Rushock. Thanks, buddy. These guys are going for $50. Pretty good. There's some new jeans going for about 30. And this Nucleus top is going for 39, I think it was. Might have been 35, which is pretty cool. Nice big graphic on it. So I'm gonna get these packed up. I've still got to do a couple more things, but just clearing out all this. I've got a little skip bin coming to home in a couple of days, and I'll be doing a big clean out there as well. So just trying to get things sorted before I go away. It's all starting to happen. I had a bit of a not a mental breakdown, but like just wanted to make sure I'm getting things done, because I think I was feeling a little bit stressed. So feeling good now, so let's rock and roll.
So solid week. All in all, things are working in the direction that I want, doing a lot of risk taking, testing things out, trying new things, and getting things better. And that's because I've also had to do a bit of a cleanup. I've also had to do a lot of changes to ensure that I'm not just setting things up for me, but setting things up for other people working in the business. And this is starting to work a charm, and it's pushing me to try new things. It's pushing me to make sure I'm having them spend their time wisely, because I'm paying them for their time, which means I don't want them spending money doing things that is not revenue generating. Or managing the business. So it's been a nice self-awareness week in those kind of things as being a boss, but it's been a very encouraging and humbling process as well. So that's it, week 147. That's the results of October 2023. It's been a crazy ride, and who knows what will happen in November. It's only a couple of weeks till I go away now, which is getting very exciting. It's scary at the same time, but we'll get there. We'll make it happen. Appreciate being here. If you've got any questions, comments, details, whatever, chuck them down below, and otherwise you have a wonderful day. Cheers.